Just dropping those shoulders away from the ears. Let the shoulders rise, or sorry, not the shoulders, let the ears rise up. And then rather than lifting the chin, let the chin just drop down a little bit, lengthen the back of the neck. You can allow the eyes to close or keep them open in a steady gaze, whatever helps you to tune in to your body and your breath right now and tune out to the distractions. All right, we'll start that embodiment practice beginning to notice your feet on the ground. Big toes, little toes. You can try to spread out those toes right now and set them back down. The heels. And then can you feel both feet simultaneously? Or does one feel heavier than the other? Can you find that equal balance between the two? We'll head to the back of the thighs as they're resting on your seat. The sit bones. And again, can you find that equal weight between the two? And if one feels heavier, you might be actually listing off to one side unknowingly. So what do you have to do to come back to center? From the ground, through our seat, we're going to reach the spine a little bit taller through the crown of the head. We're in that seated mountain pose. Let's begin to tune into our other senses. Can you pick up from sounds maybe outside of your space? You can transition that awareness to the sounds inside your space. And perhaps the sound of your own breath. In and out in the nostrils. Traveling that whole span from the tips of the nostrils where you feel it enter in, through the nasal passages, back to the back of the throat before it enters in, and then send it back out. That same awareness sending back out the nostrils to the tip of the nostrils. It's traveling farther into the lungs, but unfortunately we can't feel that. Let's take notice of what we can feel. We're going to continue that awareness with a breath practice of an equal inhale to an equal exhale. I'm going to go with a 6-count breath. It's been widely studied to be a calming number, a calming amount of breath. But if it makes it feel straining for you, don't force it. Okay, cut it down by 1 or 2. I'll take us through the first. If you haven't already started, take a full exhale. Next inhale, I'll count it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Continue on your own, in and out through the nasal passages. 3 rounds. Full belly breath, maybe a little bit of a chest rising. Next exhale, let go of the rhythm, but just take a pause and notice how that makes you feel, body and mind. All right, we're pausing to create that intention for the day. And it's well into the morning, but bring that intention with you. Palms might be together, they can be in your lap, whatever feels authentic. How might you show up this day in regards to yourself, towards each other, those around us, either near or far, or the planet. All right, we could sit and intend all day, couldn't we? I think you get bored, but that's called meditation. All right, here we go. Let's bring the palms together if they're not already. Spread those fingers wide, and the thumbs are going to come to touch at your chest breastplate if that feels okay. If not, just keep them a little bit away. A little bit of pressure, and we're going to reach the crown of the head to the sky, send the elbows out. A little isometric push here. 3, 2, 1. We're going to send the fingertips forward. Slide them out. Flip the palms to rise up. Perhaps the palms touch. And then we're going to push it back down. Slide across, bring the palms together. See if you can do it without looking at them. It's good practice. And then bring it on back in. Okay, 2 more. So as soon as the palms are together, there's pressure. Obviously, let it go. Reach it up. Push it back down. Slide it back across. Leave the palms without looking if you can. It's like practicing knowing where your feet are when you're walking in a dark space. Hopefully you don't do that a lot, but sometimes we have to. Last time. Like when you wake up from the, to go to the bathroom at night, you know where your feet have to land on the floor. Oops, I don't know what I did there. It's a different direction. That's okay. Let's pause here. A little bit of pressure, elbows out. All right. Clasp those hands, let go of that effort, and we'll start that figure 8 or infinity. Might become, to make it a little bit more wristy, just, I guess my wrists need a little bit more of that, but you're welcome to make it a little bit more flowy with the elbows. When we get to the center of that figure 8 next time, I'm going to pause and head the other direction. Let's come to center. Keep those hands clasped. You're going to send the hands out. You're going to wrap your little wings, your shoulder blades forward. Let the head drop. If it feels okay, flip the palms. We're going to rise up. If keeping them clasped doesn't feel good, just grab onto one wrist. We're going to reach up. Big stretch. Exhale, round it out again. Hands to belly, inhale. Good. 2 more. Breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out, and steadily breathing in. Good, last time. Push it out, lift it up, push it out, bring it in. All right, let's make any little adjustments. And let's head into a cat and cow here. So breathing out, first we're going to tuck the tailbone. Let the upper back round, slide those hands along the thighs and let the head drop. Lift the palms up and reverse the motion. So untuck the tailbone, draw the shoulders back, maybe lift the chin. Good, 2 more. And I always bring this analogy of the Pez candy dispenser. So on that rise up, don't be the Pez candy dispenser that just cocks the head back, but lengthen and lift up out of the neck space. Like that turtle. Last time we rise up and we meet back in the center. Okay. From here, let's take a hula. So it does help to be a little scooch forward to the front of your seat if it's available. Let's start, I always go right, but let's go left today. Start to your left sit bone, forward towards the front of your seat, over to your right sit bone, and then back towards your tailbone. So what I'm imagining in my mind as I'm doing this, the pelvis is rocking on a clock, kind of a wobbly clock. And then we're going to start to make it a little bit smaller, and a little bit smaller, and a little bit smaller, until we come back to center and you find the balance on both sit bones. And then we're going to head to the right this time. Forward, left, back. Okay. Moving through that, you can make the motion small or big, your choice. Can you match it to your breath though? That's the trick. Start to make it a little bit smaller, and a little bit smaller, and a little bit smaller as we come back to center. Great. Let's get to the neck. So, right hand to the heart space. We're going to slide that across your chest, sweeping it out open to the right, gaze right. Sweep it back across, gaze left. Just going to whatever the neck feels okay doing this morning. Not forcing it. Always approach our yoga with the aspect of contentment. Here we swing to the right. We're going to send the left hand to the side of the chair or your thigh and then reach that right arm up and over. What keeps you from going all the way off the chair is your right sit bone planting down. Some other things too, but that's where our effort can be. And let's just bend the elbow and take hold of the side of the head. One to give your head a little bit of rest, but we're going to get a little stretch through that arm. One more breath. Good. Exhale when you're ready. Come on back up and release. All right. Shake out. Let's head to the other side. So the left hand to the chest base. Same thing, slide across, this time gazing left. Exhale, sweep back across, gaze right. 2 more before we side bend. Last one. We take hold of the right side of the chair and start to sweep this left arm up and over. You can certainly keep it on your hip. And this time your left sit bone keeps you grounded. Good, and let's bend that elbow, take hold of the side of the head. And it's not yanking you, it's just a very light support. You can breathe into your upside gills if you had them, those left gills. One more breath. When you're ready on your exhale, we'll meet back in the center. Make those adjustments. All right, let's grab our strap if you're using it. Yes. I always go to the right first. I'm going to switch my brain here and go to the left. So we're going to take the strap around the left foot, swing it out. This does help to be a little bit scooch forward to the front of your seat. All right, so toes are coming up. This other leg, you can see might be roughly ankle, knee, somewhat in alignment. Okay. We're going to do our sunrise, sunset, so sitting up tall, and then we hinge off to that side, but you're not collapsing. Take the right hand down towards the left. I'm going to turn the palm forward, sweep it across, gaze out to the right. Complete that to reverse the motion. Gaze down left. Lift the palm up and draw the shoulder blade back so we get a little row in there. Slide it back. 2 more, same thing. Make the motion come from your elbow if the shoulder is a little achy this morning. Or just do a wave of the hand. Yeah. Any little movement is better than nothing. Next time we come back to that row, we're going to extend that arm out. And I'm going to keep the gaze down towards the left. We'll get a little bit of a neck stretch here, and maybe I'll even bend that right elbow a little bit to drop it. So we can actually maybe stretch through the right side neck, shoulder. Got 1 more breath in us here. And that elbow, like somebody's pulling you back up. We'll be back in the center and go to the other side. Stretch out that leg and line up your left ankle to your knee. Toes coming towards you, heels spreading away. Sitting up tall, we're going to hinge off to that side. Start our sunrise sunset. So gaze down to the right, left hand down there. Flip to rise. Send it on back. Gaze down. I'm going to turn that palm up and row it back. Slide it back. Good. Send it through. 2 more, same thing. Flip it up and draw it back. Last time. Good. Palm up, slide it out. Send that left arm out. Bend the elbow a little bit to drop the shoulder, and you're going to keep that gaze down towards the right. You can even bend the elbow even more and drop it to your side if need be. Get another breath in us because we are still breathing, right? Consciously. 1 more. All right, exhale. We come back up to center. Take that strap off for the moment. We're going to do an interim arm exercise here with our feet about hip width apart, and then we'll go to our warrior. The palms are going to be up on your lap. Level out my shoulders here. Palms are up, and you're going to press the backs of the palms down to the thighs. Feel that lifting of the spine, perhaps a dropping of the shoulders and a lengthening of the back of the neck. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release. We're going to get 2 more of those, 5-second holds. Press down, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release. Last one, press down, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release. All right, nice way to work some of those downward muscles in the back. Okay, let's send the right leg out. We're gonna head into our warrior 2. All right, so this time the foot is more or less flat to the floor. And it's a good time to maybe pick up those toes and spread them out and then send them back down. We'll start here in the center, palms together, elbows out, a little bit of pressure, isometric hold. Good, we're gonna send it forward. Much like we did in the very beginning, push it out or trickle across. Lift it up. Push the palms down, so we flip them. We're going to trickle across and back to center. I didn't turn the head last time, but let's do it this time. Trickle across, you're going to gaze out to the left. Flip the palms, maybe gaze up towards the sky or the front corner of the room. Flip the palms back down to gaze forward. Bring it back across. Okay, last time we're gonna hold here in warrior. Send it out. We have 3D, my hands would be poking into your eyes. Just to get your attention. All right, hold those arms out, gazing to the left, palms lifting, soften the shoulders, like you're holding something precious in those hands. One more breath here, keep pressing the floor away from you with your legs. Good, let's flip the back palm down, start to take it down the back leg and reach this left arm towards the sky. You could stop anywhere along the range. Don't got a tricky shoulder here. You could bend the elbow or reach from the fingertips. Avana Mudra if you like. My secret mudra you can't see. One more breath. Take it back to warrior 2. We'll flip the palms, trickle them back across. Meet the palms in the center. See if you can do it without looking, or maybe even close your eyes. And come back into center. All right, let's take the right leg back in, make any little adjustments. Little spinal motions before we head to the other side. Left leg out, right leg is your bent one. Think about that for a second. Here we go. Palms meet in the center. Keep a little bit of pressure here. It's a good way to get some shoulder strength going on. We're going to send it forward. Still pressure. Now we let go of it. Trickle. Gaze to the right. Palms lift. Maybe gaze up. This time when palms come down, we'll gaze back to the right. And trickle back across. See if you can close your eyes if it feels safe and match your palms without looking. Kind of a fun little trick, eh? Come back to center. 2 more. Press it on out. Trickle across. Gazing right. Flip to rise, gazing up. Reflip to lower, gazing right. Send them back across, and if you can close your eyes, you feel safe enough. Practice bringing the palms together without division. Back to center. Nice. This time we hold it out there. Gazing right. We're going to flip those palms, let the elbows bend a little bit, cup the hands. You're softening the shoulders, still pressing through the legs to get you a little taller. Great. Let's flip the back palm, face it down, start to take it down the back leg and start to reach that right arm towards the sky. If the arm feels heavy or achy, certainly just bend it and reach to the fingers. Avana Mudra if you like. It's kind of like that Pez candy thing. We don't want to just drop right back in. You're still lifting up as you're bending back. 1 more breath. Let's reverse back into Warrior 2, reaching those arms. Flip the palms, slide it back across, eyes closed if you can, palms together, and back in the middle. All right. Woo. Let's help those legs back in, make any little adjustments. We're going to transition to standing if you would like to and are able to. All right. If you're joining me, or even if you're not, we can still attempt this. Feet about hip width apart. I'm going to spread out those toes, set them down. Start to lean in. Chin drops in. Hands to the thighs or the chair or free, your choice. Exhale, slowly rise up. Ooh, lost my head. All right, I'm going to take the chair in front of me. Just if you want a little extra support, you can transition that as well or use your walls around you. You take the legs out wide. Bring it there. Okay, you can always stay seated for these two. All right, send it out. Starfish. We'll take a rise up in breath. You can always be holding on, or I got the lovely wall behind me. I can just fall back into it if need be. Maybe you do too. In breath. Chest rises, out breath. Last one. And then we're going to become seaweed. So seaweed means holding onto the chair and reaching up, gaze down towards the side that you're bending off towards. Come back to center, switch. Okay, move as quickly as you like or as slowly. Last one. Let's bring those feet back in so they're right under your hips. I'm going to turn the chair just more for visuals, but you don't have to quite yet. I'm going to spread out those toes and set as wide as they can go and then set them down. We're going to go up on the toes and back on the heels. So lifting up. And then don't go too far back so that you actually fall back, but maintain that stability, please, as your heels come your toes come up. So we're going onto the toes, back to the heels. Just 2 more. Last one. Woo. All right, go ahead and shake it out. We're gonna go through our flow pose, through chair pose. Good practice. Always use the chair as needed. So feet about hip width apart, spread out those toes again, reset them. We're gonna rise up, inhale. And exhale, I'm gonna sit my tush back, bring the arms forward. So you don't wanna be tucked under here. It's not, one, it's not attractive, and two, it's not very functional. Good, in breath, out breath, rise up. Inhale at the top. Exhale, release the arms down to mountain pose. Please use the chair at all times if need be. Hold on. I'm going to show that version, but keep two arms free if you'd like. In breath, out breath. In breath here. Out breath, rise up. Inhale at the top and exhale, release. Okay, here we go. Two more. In breath. Out breath. Inhale. Exhale to power up. Inhale to rise. Exhale, release. Next time I'm going to go back to two arms free. In breath, last one. Out breath. Okay, thighs are spreading open to that outer walls, pushing outward. Inhale. Exhale to rise. Inhale at the top and exhale to release. Go ahead and make any little adjustments. I'm going to meet you in mountain pose. The chair is now going to be to your right side. Let's take the right leg forward. So right leg is forward, left leg is back. You got your hips facing the front. Okay, and I'm not on a balance beam, okay? I'm not narrow. You're more on the train tracks, okay? Okay, the chair is there if you'd like it. We're going to bend in and reach that maybe left arm up, and I'm going to invite you to gaze up towards the sky, and then exhale, gaze down towards the floor just in front of you. If you can do that with both arms free, give it a try. Otherwise, keep connected to the chair at all times. Two more. So you may not be able to see my knee, but bending in as I come in, yeah. And straightening as we come out. Next time up, we hold it. I'm actually going to have us come out into cactus arms here in our warrior. Let's see, even at my shoulders here. Draw the shoulders back. So if you've got a hold of one chair, it might look like a half cactus, or like you're turning left on a bike. Or sorry, turning right. Good, one more breath. See if you can bring those palms in together, or at least one in towards your chest if you're holding on. Good. Last breath here. And then straighten that front leg. Release. Step that leg back. Make any adjustments. Meet me in mountain pose. All right. Let's step the right leg towards the chair. And the left foot steps out with that foot parallel while the other foot is facing forward. Now, if you bend into your right knee, it should, if you look down, hip, knee, and ankle should all be in alignment, kind of lining up with your first and second toes. If you notice that your knee is grazing way inside your big toe, start to walk that front leg forward a little bit, meaning forward towards the camera. Okay, so now you're lined up. We're going to bend in, and I'm going to buttress that knee up onto that chair. Send the left arm back. Your right arm forward if it's available, otherwise keep holding on. Soften the shoulders, and we're going to slowly take the gaze out to the right. So I mean slow, so that you're nice and steady until you're gazing somewhere towards the right. And I'm gonna bring my left hand now to my hip. And I'm gonna reach that right arm forward. And if you're holding onto the chair, it would just look something similar. You're just gonna reach in. And then we're gonna reach back or come back to center. Okay, so it's like you're reaching out to that far cupboard or something in the back shelf. And then you bring it back. Last one. Good. Bring it back. Release that hand down. Let's straighten the front leg. Roll out the shoulders. We got 2 more poses here. If you ever need to bring those legs back in just for a reprieve, please do. Don't force yourself to stay here. All right. Next one again, we'll bend in. And I'm going to take the hands to the hips, or at least one of them if need be. Hold on. Press down through the hips and lift your body up as you lengthen over. And then you can rest the hand or the forearm on that chair, or maybe some of you have the range to go all the way to your thigh. I'm going to stay in the mid-range. Okay. We're going to reach that left arm out and maybe send it up and over. Good. You can stop anywhere on the range, or you can even keep your hand on your hip. Okay. Okay. Press the bottom shoulder down. Are we breathing? I'm going to bend this elbow again, just like we did in the very beginning, to just give it a little bit of support. Can you breathe into those upside heels? One more breath. You can even be up high. You do not have to be down low. Last breath. Bring the arm down. Use the chair and your front leg to give you a boost back up. Woo. Make any little adjustments. If you need to step those legs in, please do. Or if you need to be seated, you can take that too. All right. Last one here on this side before we do our balance. Coming into triangle pose. So both legs are relatively straight. You're going to tighten up those legs. Send the arms out and start to make your lean in. So I could use the chair completely. I could hold on to it. Some of you might be able to let go of the chair and bring your hand to your thigh. Trying to make my arms level. There we go. You can always have your hand on your hip too. Good, press through those toes, wherever you might be. One more breath. Ooh, the arms are heavy. Bend into that front knee, send it on back up, exhale. Ooh. All right, let's heel toe step those legs in, make any adjustments, and just notice for a moment what sensations are going through the left side of your body versus the right side. All right, got a tree pose coming up. Seated or standing, you're gonna take more weight onto that right leg. If you're in standing, keep the knee a little bit bent. And we'll start to rotate the left knee out. Good time to spread those toes on the right foot. You can either be toe planted or you could take it up to the shin. You're gonna come into a half C-pod. Maybe a full C-pod if you feel steady. If you're wobbling a little bit, that's okay. You don't have to be perfectly still, just as long as you can maintain not heading down to the ground. All right, do those tree branches want to grow, or maybe they just want to stay into seed pod? It's your choice. I don't know where my arms are. They've disappeared. You can always have one hand connected to the lower roots here. Next breath in and out. Come on back down to center. If you're not there already. All right, release, shake it out. Give that foot a little twirl if it needs it. All right. Before we head to the other side, let's take a downward facing dog or child's pose if you're seated. Face the chair or a wall or a table. Walk it on back. I would anything, if your back's bothering you, maybe just stop halfway. I don't know. It really just depends on what's going on with your back. You'd have to let me know before or after class. Otherwise, take the legs a little bit wide, arms stretching forward, knees are bent. If you have the range of motion, just straighten the legs without harming the back or making you feel uncomfortable. Please give it a try. Full breath in and out here. Good. Bend the knees, bend the elbows, start to walk slowly forward or slowly up your legs if you're seated. Your head's the last thing to do. All right. I'm going to transition so that the chair is on the left side of you if you are using it. So, seated or standing, that left foot is now your forward leg. The right leg is your back leg. And when you're bending in, so you can just test it, bend into that left knee, and your ankle, hip, and knee should all be in some alignment. If you see the knee grazing off way past the big toe, meaning inside the big toe, walk that front foot forward a little bit towards the camera. Okay, just don't want you to crank your knees here. So bend into that front knee. We're going to buttress it up against the chair perhaps. Take the right arm back. If you feel safe and free enough to let the left arm graze forward. Soften the shoulders. You're gazing forward slowly, very slowly start to take your gaze out towards the left hand. Some little increments as you head out there. About you, but I always send my upper back way back. So I'm going to bring my front chest a little bit more forward than I think I need to. Maybe you want to try that too. Good. We're going to bring the right hand to the hip. And you can always give that left arm a little break if it needs it. We're going to shift forward though. We're going to do those 3 shifts, like you're reaching forward towards that back of that shelf, and then you're going to pull it back. So inhale, we're going to lean in. Exhale, you're going to bring it back. Last one. Send that right arm back. I know that left arm's tired. One more breath here if you can. In breath, out breath. We'll release, straighten that front leg. Make any little adjustments. Again, we're here for 2 more poses with the legs like this. So if need be, bring them in for a break. All right. Next one, bend in. We're going to buttress that knee to the chair again. Hands to hips. You're going to send the hips down as you lengthen the spine and start to lean in. When you can, either place the left hand on the chair, the forearm on the chair, or maybe you have the range to bring your hand or arm to the thigh. I'm going to stay in the middle. We're going to send this right arm up and perhaps over. I've got it over my top ear. You do not have to have it that high. It could be anywhere along the range. You could even have it on the hip. Relax both shoulders out of the ears, down and back. And again, I feel like I'm leaning back into this wall, so I'm going to bring my chest a little bit forward. One more breath if you're still with me. We're going to reach. Oh, I didn't do this little part. Last breath here, if you can stay with me. Little cup of the head. Breathe into the upside gills. And then when you're ready, we're going to use our front leg and arm to breathe us out. Any little adjustments before we meet for triangle pose. All right. Send it out. Controlled lean over. Both legs are straight this time, but the front leg is not locked out. Tighten up those thighs. Press through the toes. You can also have the hand on the chair, or if you have the availability, on your front thigh. Steady breath here. Again, I'm back into that wall, so I'm going to bring my front chest a little bit forward. That's my tendency is to overarch, so. One more breath, keep pressing through those toes, reach through those fingers. Good, bend that front knee a little bit, bring those arms down and exhale arms back up. We're gonna heel toe or step it in. Ooh, make any adjustments, meet me in mountain, one breath. Settling. All right, before we root ourselves into our tree here, so spread out the toes of your left foot, whether you are seated or standing, all the way going onto that side. Starting to roll that right knee out. Toe can stay on the floor. You can start to bring it up your calf if you are standing. You can bring a half seat pod, or maybe you feel like you can let go. So there's a karmic action and reaction here. As you press the palms together, you get a little bit more stable. As you press the foot into either the floor or your calf, you get a little bit more stable. You want those tree branches to grow. You might become a little bit more unstable. You already know, use the chair or the walls or any supports that you need. Steady breath. Here we are, one more breath. Good, if the arms are not already together, start to bring them in, one or two. Good, and we're back to center, release. Any adjustments, meet me in mountain, one breath. Last downward dog or child's pose if you are in seated. You can face that chair or a table surface, works really well. It's a little bit higher. If you'd like to walk the feet back, take the feet out a little bit wider than your hips. You can bend the knees at first to untuck the tailbone, and then we can straighten the legs if that's available to you. If you're in child's pose, just stop at your thighs or the floor. Wherever you are, breathe in, let your belly expand. Mouth open. If you're ready, we're going to slowly transition, walking slowly forward or slowly walking up your legs. Your head's the last thing to join you wherever you are. All right, make sure your equilibrium is with you. We're going to transition back to the seat. Have your straps handy. Using them. Alright, let's take the right foot and strap it up if you're using it. Again, these can be done without. Take the ball of the foot, reach it out to the front. Okay, sitting up tall, it does help to be, again, scooch to the front of your seat so your hip crease gets the edge of the seat. I'm going to lean in because I just need a little extra something that I want to feel there. You might as well. Back is flat though. Back of the neck is long. Chin is just gently downward. Where are those shoulders? What's the jaw doing? Next breaths out. See if you can let go of them. Next up, I'm going to do something different today. We're going to do everything on this right side before we switch to the left. So you can either cross over and do the low version of the hip, or you can actually use that strap to get your leg up on top of you, onto your thigh. I'm going to sit up tall. I'm going to do a few ankle circles here, just what I naturally just want to do, so going with it. Maybe a couple in each direction if you're there. Inhale. If you'd like to exhale and bring it forward, you may. As you hinge forward and again, drop the chin. Shoulders out of the ears. breath here before we transition. You can always stay longer if you're enjoying it. It's always your practice. If you're ready to transition, we're going to rise up and let that leg cross either all the way over, or you can uncross it, your choice. I still got mine strapped. You can actually use that to hold me. We're going to take the left arm up and then take it outside of the right thigh. The right hand comes to the outside of the right hip. For those with osteoporosis, it's not just a cranking here. You're more rotating in the upper body. If that's not a concern of yours, you're welcome to turn a little bit more. I don't want to say aggressively, but deeper. Shoulders out of the ears. One more breath into your left side gills. Great, exhale. We'll come back to center. Now we get to switch sides. If you're using the strap, take hold of the left foot, toes coming towards you, heels spreading away. That feels just like plenty there. Don't go anywhere else. I want a little bit more out of this, so I'm going to drop the chin a little bit and hinge in. I start to creep towards my foot. What's going on at the jaw, the eyes, the shoulders. Last breath here. Exhale back up, and either you're going to do take the low road or the crossover, or maybe you can use that strap to pull your leg up onto your thigh. You can sit up tall. That might be plenty. If you're looking for something more, you can start to hinge in. Oh, I didn't do the ankle circles. Weird. I wanted to do it on one side, but not the other. A few ankle circles if you'd like. Get the toes in there. Keep circling if you'd like, or if you want more of a focus on the hip, maybe starting to lean in, keep the chin down. Shoulders out at the ears. In and out. If you'd like to stay, please do. If you're ready to transition, sit back up. Either cross that leg all the way over or completely uncrossed if you'd rather. Reach the right arm up to get a little bit of length. Take it outside the left thigh. Left hand to the outside of the left hip. Just right to that turn. Play with bringing your right shoulder forward. Do this on the other side, or just keep it back, which is what I usually recommend. One more breath into your right side gills. And coming back in the center. Let go of that strap. Give ourselves a bit of love here, big hug, which is also a stretch, by the way. And then we'll come to relaxation. So here we go, open it up, gather it all up. This is your chest stretch, and then this is your shoulder and upper back stretch, wrap around, take a full breath in and out. Notice which arm is on top, because we're gonna switch it. Inhale. Gather it all up. Snuggle yourself in it. Opposite arm comes across, full breath in and out. Gather it all up one last time. And we be back right in the center where we started. With a wrist stretch, but also a salutation. All right. If there's any other little movements you want to make before we head to relaxation, you're welcome to. I'm just going to demo. Y'all have been with me long enough, you know by now, but sometimes it's nice to have a little something to put your feet on and a pillow. I like the pillows, but one, it's just kind of cozy, but it just takes the weight off your neck and shoulders, so you don't have to do so much. And I've actually got a wall behind me where I can rest my head, I just noticed, so maybe in the future that might be something that you want to do too. So it's almost like you're laying on your back, but you don't have to get to the floor. As always, I'll take us through that brief guided relaxation. We'll rest for some time. And then we'll hear the bells chime. Allowing the eyes to close or keep them open in a steady gaze, your choice. Whatever might help you to tune in and tune out. Of the thinking, worrying, planning muscles, smoothing out the skin of the forehead. Let that wave continue to the space between the eyebrows as it broadens and softens. Eyes are heavy. Through the temples, joint of the jaw, space between the teeth, shoulder blades out of the ears, and settling to the surface behind you. More gripping through the legs and the feet. And everything flop. And choose your anchor, the one thing that will bring you back when your mind starts to wander. Maybe you have a mantra. Maybe it's the breath in the nostrils. Maybe it's a bird outside. Right now, you've got nowhere to be, nothing to do. These next few moments are yours. breath becoming a bit deeper, a bit more conscious. Just keeping your eyes closed. Maybe mindful movement that you might already be doing, or maybe start if you haven't. You might strum the tips of the thumbs along the tip of each finger, noticing each fingerprint for the very first time, or maybe the 40th time. Maybe a curl in of the toes. These are all just suggestions. Of course, you don't have to do anything. And then releasing them on your next breath. Maybe rolling wrists or ankles. Stretch, cat or dog. Before we come back up. Just wanted to point another reason out as you're transitioning here of having the pillow on. And if you've ever been in yoga classes where we put the bean bags on your belly, it can give some nice feedback for the abdomen to rise and fall and give a little weight for the diaphragm to actually work against. So it can be quite nice. So maybe next time, if you didn't try it this time, give it a try. All right, feet are on the floor, back is away from the chair if possible. This week's mudra is Avana Mudra. So base of the, tip of the thumb goes to the base of the ring finger. And then pinky and ring finger tips come to touch as the other fingers are stretched out. So it's something like that. And of course, you never have to engage in the mudras if you'd rather not. Arms come, elbows out a bit. It's almost like my wrist or my inner forearm is resting on my lower abdomen. Allow the eyes to close or keep them open in a steady gaze, your choice. This mudra is a gesture of cultivating heartfelt acceptance. So the fingers pointing up towards the heart space or heart chakra, throat. And if anything else, just sending the breath a little bit higher. Take 2 conscious breaths. Inhale. Exhale. After your next exhale, letting go of that mudra. And mudras are really about noticing how it makes you feel. So if you don't pay attention, you won't know if it makes you feel good, and then you won't know if you want to use it again. So anyway, just a point to mudras. Let's come into our gratitude mudra. So it might be palms together, it might be one hand over the other, however you like. Let's bow to a place within you where you recognize that gratitude, acknowledging at least one more thing in your life to be grateful for in this moment. This could be very long. Let's send this gratitude out beyond the walls that you're in. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Palms coming together, holding onto that gratitude real close, at least for the rest of the day. I'll almost out to seal the deal. You may always join in. I wish I could hear you. But nevertheless, here we go. Slow breath in. Slow breath out. Slow breath into home. Breathe in. Breathe out, lips apart. Namaste. Spirit in me honors the spirit in each and every one of you. Thank you so much for being here. Peace in.